The Sutra Story Episode 1. Upali's Becoming a Monk. Shakyamuni Buddha denied the social caste system. He taught us that all people in this society are closely related to each other. Let's keep the Buddhist teaching in mind and practice it on our daily life. It's our goal to create a society where all people and brothers are sisters. About 2,500 years ago, there was a country near the border between Nepal and India. There lived Shakyas. Its capital was Kalavatu. This is a story about the prince of the Shakyas, Siddhartha Gautama, who left his family because an ascetic search for the ultimate truth, attained enlightenment and became a Buddha. Then preached Dharma to save all sentient beings. The Sutra Story. Upali's Becoming a Monk. Shakyamuni Buddha returned to his hometown, Kavalatu, with his disciples. That year, he just turned 36 years old. It was 7 years after he left home. The palace in Kavalatu was immersed in a festival atmosphere because of Shakyamuni Buddha. In the streets, a lot of people were on the tiptoes looking forward to see the Buddhas as well. I know everything about Shakyamuni Buddha. He was the prince of our nation. Lived a happy life with his wife, Princess Yasodhara, in a palace of King Surana. But 7 years ago, for some unknown reason, it was very complicated. Ah, what a pain. Be careful, Upali. Upali, be careful. I'm sorry. The one who got scolded was Upali, a barber. He had many customers despite his young age, because he was very skillful. May I ask, what happened to him next? His position as a prince and left home. He walked to a country far away in the south. Performed ascetic practices for 6 years in the forest deep in the mountains. And finally, he attained enlightenment. Attained enlightenment? What is it? That's a marvelous treasure. With that treasure, all sorrows and sufferings in the world can be eliminated immediately. All sorrows and sufferings can be eliminated immediately? People compete to become his disciple to share that treasure. It's said, he has already more than 1,000 disciples now. May I ask what sort of treasure it is? Could you tell me? What? You said you knew everything. Yes, but then please tell me. How does the treasure that can be shared by 1,000 people? Please tell me. It's that there are some things even I do not know. Don't make me embarrassed. Kid, don't make my master embarrassed. I'm sorry. The Buddha is here. My precious mustache. Look at what you've done. You cut my precious mustache. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Unforgivable. Punish him. 100 strokes. Yes, master. I'm so ugly now. Don't hate me. I'll hit slowly. Then it won't hurt much. Don't worry. No. Please finish it quickly as possible. But it hurts a lot that way. Please just hit. A treasure that can eliminate sorrows and sufferings. I also want to have some. If I can't get any, I must have a look at least. Strange. There's no treasure at all. The Buddha has only an old bowl in his hand. But what a kind face. What a noble figure. I would not regret even I have to die, if I can accompany him for 3 days. In front of the south gate of the palace, King Suddhana was waiting in the gold chair on the back of the white elephant. The gorgeously dressed ministers and maids stood in a row, waiting for the arrival of the Buddha and his disciples. Ah, Prince, I can't wait any longer. You've become thin. You must have suffered a lot during the 7 years. I am so sorry for making you worried about me these years. Let it pass. Get inside and have a rest. Your disciples too, come. Upali, you do not need a haircut. Please let me in. I would like to listen to the Buddha speaking. What? Don't daydream. Go home. Don't forget your position. Don't forget your position. Having such words, Upali had nothing to say. Barbers belong to Sutras, the caste of laborers. The Indian society was divided in 4 castes at that time. The highest were the Brahmins, the priests who served the gods. Below them were the Kshatriyas, the king and his relatives, followed by the Vaisyas, the farmers, artisans, and merchants. The lowest were the Sudras, the laborers who served the other 3 castes. Below the Sudras, there was still a class of people who were not considered as human beings. People were classified due to their births, and could not change where they Of course, people like me don't have the right to listen to the Buddha talking, but I just want to listen. What was that? Delicious. There he is. You would have acceded to the throne and become a great king if you hadn't left. Tell me, with what were you dissatisfied about the court life? There was nothing I had dissatisfied with about the court life. That's why I was scared. I was scared to think about that young age, health, and even life would end someday. No fear of aging, illness, and death. That's the real peace. I left home to seek that real peace. At first, I consulted the most respected hermits one by one, but I didn't meet anyone that could answer the questions in my heart. Then I hid in the forest, tried all kinds of ascetic practices by myself. After 6 years, I only became weak in body and mind, but without any progress. Then I gave up the fruitless ascetic practices, left the forest, walked to the Narjana river, and bathed there. I received food from the headswoman and got recovered. After that, I sat under the Bodhi tree, concentrated my mind, and entered a deep meditation. Finally, I attained enlightenment. Enlightenment? That must be the treasure. I achieved the understanding that all human sufferings originate from themselves, from their attachments to desires. Oh, the treasure is not jewelry. More deeply, I understood that we can achieve eternal peace in mind only if we give up our attachments and desires and free ourselves. Hold on, peace in mind. That might be something more precious than jewels. I must listen more carefully. Ah! Someone is over there. It's a dog. Get away, you shouldn't be here. Go away. Bye-bye. Oh, when did that kid enter the palace? In the hall of the palace. Shakyamuni Buddha was about to introduce his disciples to everyone. But King Sudona couldn't be really happy, because he worried about the shabby dressing of the Buddha and his disciples. Your disciples are all noble Brahmins. But sorry for being direct, they look miserable. And they are dressed in such poor clothes. Let me give you and your disciples some new clothes as presents. I take the will for the deed. Then let me build viharas for you in the woods. I don't need those kinds of things at all. But, Father, where is the princess? Yasodhara was very happy when she heard that you're coming back. You're there now. But she said that she was too ashamed to face anyone as a deserted wife. She locked herself in her room. Maybe you should go to see her yourself. I see. What about, let's select some elites from the Sakyans to the principal disciples. Accompany him and raise his popularity. What do you think? That's a good idea. I'll shave my head and get ready to serve the Buddha tomorrow. Except the king. I have the highest position among the Shakyas. You are willing to go? I'll go to visit every family now. Ask them to send a young man to be the Buddha's disciple. Well said. I really appreciate it. The palace was immersed in a glow of sunset. After 7 years of separation, Shakyamuni Buddha reunited with his wife Yasodhara and their son Rahula. Yasodhara. 7 years ago I left this room. Left you and Rahula. But that was not because I didn't love you. My love for you has never changed all the time. Please understand. The love between man and woman is just an attachment, an obsession. No matter how sweet it is, it will bring worries and sorrows. What we should give up is the attachment. What we should go for is the truth. The eternal, ultimate truth. If you will, Yasodhara, please also give up the attachment. Live for the broader ultimate truth together with me. Isn't that nice? What do you think? Come, Rahula. You've grown up. You are so heavy now. Upali was at his home. All human sufferings originate from themselves, from their attachments to desires. We can achieve the eternal peace in mind only if we give up our attachments and desires and free ourselves. What marvelous worlds! Wait, if I become a disciple of the Buddha, I will be hearing these words every day. That's right. Don't forget your position. But he would not accept me because I'm so humble. Why was I born in this caste? Why? The next morning, Upali was called by Elder Maguilayana, left home with his razor. Upali, what have taken you so long? I'm sorry. Now, first cut my hair and beard. Then for the others as well. Everyone? That's right, everyone. Why is that? We are going to become disciples of Shakyamuni Buddha. Become the Buddha's disciple? Last night the Buddha and his disciples rested in the woods in the suburb. We have to hurry up to get there before it gets dark. Yes. Am I dreaming? I must have a try. Right now. I have to act right now. Why are you crying? Is it that sad to part from us? That's only one reason. If everyone leaves and become a monk, what shall I live on from tomorrow? I am so sad to think about that. That makes sense. Everyone listen. Leave our jewelry to him. We don't need it anymore if we become monks. You can take them all, Upali. There's so much, you shouldn't have any problem living on it. Why are you crying again? This time, he is probably crying for the joy to become rich. Not because of that. If I take them, I'll be taking all the desires that you have just given up. That will add to my worries and sorrows. He's so hard to deal with. What do you want then? Please take me with you, even as an attendant. Later, I'll look for opportunity to beseech the Buddha to accept me as a disciple. Please. You want to be a disciple of the Buddha? You? Nonsense. Don't forget who you are. All my fellows are elites and Shakyas. We're going to raise the Buddha's popularity. If we have a labor among us, think about it. It's like one drop of poison infects the whole. Ridiculous. Go home with your jewelry. Let's go. That didn't work. Perhaps people like me can never be saved. No, it's still too early to give up. I still have the last resort. Why don't I go ask the Buddha himself directly? Buddha. You are? I'm Upali, a barber. I'm from Kapalatu. Buddha, may I ask a question? Can't humble people like me be your disciple, Buddha? You want to become a monk? Yes, I'd like to learn how to get rid of my sorrows and sufferings. Could you please tell me? But I am Sutra, a laborer. If I can't be your disciple, I'm also willing to be your attendant, or even a servant, Buddha. Upali. Yes. Water quenches thirst. Could it be that water quenches the thirst of this one, but not that one? When the torch lightens the darkness, could it be that it only lightens this side, but not that side? No. The Dharma that I speak is just like water and torch. It doesn't orient to any specific class of people. If so, Upali, you are my disciple from now on. Thank you. This is a kasana for you. Never forget your will of today. Study hard and prove yourself. Prince, I brought you young people as I said. Look. Now your popularity has increased a lot. It's not comfortable to sleep in the open. I'll give order to cut trees and build viras for you right now. You are calling me? Since I am now your disciple, there's nothing wrong that you call me by my name. The clothes you are wearing are too generous for someone who seeks enlightenment. Please change to those clothes. These ones? Please give me better ones. Me too, also for me. Shakyamuni Buddha thought that his new disciples were too arrogant. He decided to help the Shakyas to get rid of arrogance with the help from Upali. Disciples, now we're going to perform the initiation rites. Kneel down to your brothers and salute them. Huh? Aren't you Upali? What are you doing here? Upali has become a disciple earlier than you. But now, he is humble Sudra. As an elder of Shakyas, how could I bow my neck to him? Nonsense. It's still not enough to bow your neck. You have to kneel down and prostrate yourself to him as you did to the others. What? I would die first. Why? Difference in status, noble or humble, that's all created by arrogant people. It's just an illusion in dream which disappears immediately after waking up. All things come to exist in certain and extinguish with certain causes. There is no difference. People are not noble or humble due to their birth, but due to their manner and behaviors. Now kneel down to Upali. But he is a slave. Aren't you a slave yourself? Me? Aren't you a slave of your arrogance right now? That also makes some sense. But Upali, if you were not here, I wouldn't. You are so hateful. Yes, Upali is the one to blame. A shanky guy. That's enough, Buddha. I really shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. Upali. Upali, you did nothing wrong. The Shakyas are wrong. Because of their arrogances. You couldn't change your behaviors. Even you knew you were young. That's called arrogance. This arrogance is just the origin of inequalities in the world. This arrogance is bothering or tormenting you right now. Shakyas, give up arrogance now. And kneel down to Upali. So, my anger and pain were not caused by Upali, but my own arrogance. That's not a rule that I invented, but it is the supreme truth of the universe. I see. If I give up arrogance, my anger and pain will disappear immediately. Now I understand. Buddha, Buddha. Buddha, you helped me get rid of my arrogance. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks. The earth, forest, mountains, rivers, and sea were all moved to quiver. Beautiful music came down from above. Later, Upali practiced diligently and was listed among the 10 great disciples of Shakyamuni Buddha. He knew disciples the best, and he was regarded as the foremost disciple in keeping project. Some of the Buddha's great disciples also arose from Shakyas, such as Ananda, Nanda, Rahula, etc.